Everybody thinks whenever you flip into healthiness that you have to then start reevaluating your whole life. You don't. Add on fitness. Still drink, still smoke, still eat a Snickers bar. I wish I had have just added on fitness while I was doing the other things. Welcome back to the Mindset and Marketing Podcast. Happy 2024. Happy New Year. My name is Matthew Toman. I am your co-host for today, and I'm joined with
Sharon Kirkpatrick. Happy 2024, everybody.
I know. Welcome back to the podcast. We had a really good break, but you want to know what? I kind of missed it.
Yeah, I know. I was excited to get back into it myself. Didn't think I'd ever say that, but there we go.
I know. Considering you didn't even want to do it from the start, yeah, I'm surprised at that.
I know. You've won me over. What can I say?
So how was your Christmas and New Year?
Well, obviously we spent the first part of it together, which was nice. So Christmas was spent with family and friends and food, basically the 3 Fs. That's what happened over the whole kind of week and a half that I was off. It was brilliant. My Christmas dinner was a success. You know, the way I was cooking it for the first time, which you know about, but you guys don't. So I didn't kill anybody, and the food was actually nice. So I had one mishap, which was I didn't do enough mash, but there was other potatoes there, so you know, wasn't too bad.
That's fine. And to be honest, on Christmas Day, like mash is not really. Do you know people like? Well, I love roast potatoes. Like that's my thing for Christmas Day.
Some people like get turned at the thought of mash, but I love it.
So some mash, I do get turned at the thought of it, but there's other ones that I just, it's really, really nice. I love it actually, you know, so it's hit and miss. It can be like, you know, you can sort of, it can be great or it could be not, but you didn't have enough anyway. So who went without? Did you go without?
Actually, Rachel did, even though I told her not to, but she wasn't listening. But you know, sorry everybody for my cough during this. I'm going to try my best not to, but I'm recovering.
Oh, we've all got that, yeah.
So it got off to kind of a flaky start because I don't know if I said to you. So we got a chicken and a ham, right? Mm-hmm. And I was pulling it all out on Christmas Day to start cooking it, but I'd ordered the ham kind of already cooked, so I just had to marinate it and heat it. And I pulled the meat out of the fridge, and then I was like, I thought this ham was supposed to already be cooked, and started kicking off. And then Rachel goes, Sharon, that's a chicken.
Oh my God. Oh God. I know.
I don't know how I did it.
Yeah, I was meant to go over to Sharon's on Christmas night, but the cold and cough that Sharon has, I got it on Christmas Day. Like, I don't know if I just ate so much food or what it was. I went down and stayed with my parents for like 3 or 4 days, and everybody had it down there. And then through Christmas Day, I was like, okay, I'm dressed up. Do you know, you get dressed like, and then you were having food. And then I was like, oh, do you want to know what? I just feel like shivery. I feel tired. Like I just want to lie down. So went and lay in the living room, obviously with fire lit and everybody in, and it was really good fun still. And but then I started to get like a sore head, and then I just went, that's it. I went in, put on pajamas, a hoodie, took 2 painkillers, which I never ever take painkillers. I don't like taking them at all. And just like, it was like that. But I did eat like a lot of sugar and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it was all brought on. I think that's all brought on by just build up of mucus, and mucus is built up by like sugar and things like that. And I get it every year. I go on this candida diet every January, like just to strip as much sugar out of my body as possible. So I do think that I just overindulged, and I think that's what mine was, the problem with mine.
Well, fair play to you for passing it on to everybody else, you know, so then you no longer have to kind of handle it.
Well, I'll say this. My mom actually had it the day before because I had to go on Christmas Eve and drop all her Christmas presents to her friends. I was out from like afternoon until 11:30. Like driving around houses, dropping things off. You know, in every house, give me like a cup of tea and...
You mentioned something there that I just want to ask everybody else out there. You mentioned dressing up on Christmas Day. I did not know this was a thing until I met your family. Like, to me, Christmas Day is you get into the comfies, you eat as much as you can, and you eat even more because you're in your comfies, and like there's no stress at all. Then I bump into your family and it's like freaking, black tie events.
Well, my mom, like you know yourself, she gets dressed up. I have brought my mom to movie premieres, right? She's been to many of them, premieres in all over in Ireland, and she always looks amazing. She always lands in the papers, always. Nobody knows who she is, but they always put a photograph of her in the paper because she looks so glam.
She does.
She dresses up more than that sometimes for just being in the house.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Than going to a movie premiere. There's times that she's in the house more dolled up than, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I can vouch for that. I think we should actually share some like photos of Christine's outfits just generally through the day, and you'll be like, what the fla? So stylish.
I know she gets and she gets changed about 5 times, and all like even the comfy clothes look amazing. I saw her the other day. She was wearing this big, long like to her ankle but no body warmer, but a really long one. And a pair of, which I never liked, you know those shoes that doctors wear?
Crocs?
Crocs. But they had fur inside. They had fur inside them. And like a little heel. A little heel on them. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, they actually looked good, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. They didn't look like normal Crocs.
I need to see a picture of this because I have a real dislike to Crocs, so maybe Christine can change my mind based on these like furry pair.
Well, I walked in the kitchen and all I could see underneath, because you had the door of the fridge open, all I could see underneath was like these cut off jeans and these furry Crocs, and I was like, what the hell's going on? But our next door neighbour bought them for her, Maria. They're constantly buying her presents. They bought her those. Yeah.
Oh, Maria, so kind. So how did you get on? See him? Because I know I was speaking to you, but.
Brilliant. So on Boxing Day then, me and Sharon end up having our whole families together, all of us together. It was great fun. All in the house. I started to come around a bit. I still was a bit, I still was on painkillers and things. But I stayed still just the whole day and just obviously ate so much. But again, I just chilled. I totally got mixed up with the days, and I went to Lurgan on Thursday thinking that the next day was Christmas Eve and then the next day was Christmas. Christmas wasn't until Monday.
You had a few days to kill. You went too soon.
Again, totally lost track of days. I would have went to the gym because obviously I had to like pack up my house and do washing because I'm back in LA. So I had like loads of things I could have done, but I end up then just surrendering to it and just chilling out and just eating so much food and just going nuts. And then the week after Christmas and day after Boxing Day, Stephen's Day, I was straight into the gym and then just routine back to normal. Had a bit of a flu, cough, cold, just battled through it. Loads of Prime, drinking in the gym, and just
that's
like
recommended.
Flat out. Yeah, I don't know if that's recommended or not, but really, really good workouts and had a ball. So I ended up back then getting ready. And as I said, now I'm in a New Year's Eve. I went down to Lurgan again, seen family. Not going to lie, I was in bed for 11:45. Like, just
you couldn't have even waited 15 more minutes.
Do you want to know what? I think I did because I heard the fireworks going off and I think I went and looked out my window of my apartment because you can see obviously all over the city. But there was so much rain you couldn't see out the window. Like, I can see out the window every day and I've seen rainstorms, but this was like torrential beating off the window and I was like, I am going to bed. So it was a good New Year's. Actually, that's perfect for me because even whenever I drank, I always found New Year's just very much of a letdown. Like you're just kind of
anticlimax.
Like, everybody gets ready and goes out. People go out too early as well, and
well,
then
that's what we did. Well,
really?
we weren't too bad. That was the only night out really that I had over Christmas. It was New Year's, and it was kind of through the day. Our friends of ours were playing in a bar in Bangor, and we got out for a couple of hours to see them, and then headed back to there. So it was chilled, but you got a wee bit of the crack as well. So. And then straight back in on the Tuesday, back to work, and then that's when I got sick, of course. So that was fun.
I really loved that week in work because you were kind of sick. You were doing bits like the clients weren't really back. I was packing to go out. It was a nice ease in. I thought it was nice ease into the week.
Didn't feel like it.
So in other news, I've landed back in LA, so I'm happy to be back here. It's so good to be back. It's so good to have blue skies. I think I overstayed my welcome in Northern Ireland the last time I was there. I absolutely loved it. Don't get me wrong.
As in just
But
there, you overstayed it?
I think I could have done with like a break in the middle after Portugal. I think this from Portugal to leaving was too long in one place.
That's like a real first world problem there, you know.
I know, because you get caught up in loads of different things. Do you know what I mean? You just get caught up in so many different things. And again, back in LA, I absolutely love the time zone difference because it is now 8:57 for me. What time is it for you?
5 to 5, yeah. Well, pretty
Five
much.
to five.
Yeah.
So it's 5 to 9. So it's 5 to 9 in the morning. So it'll be more. It'll be 9 o'clock in 3 minutes. The office in Belfast, the clients stop calling and people stop engaging after 5. So I have 3 more minutes of the working day to do.
Yeah, and for anybody who, you know, gets a bit of the sad disorder, don't follow Matthew on Instagram because we've got, you know, rain, frost and dark skies and he's just sharing clear blue, you know, sunshine,
Do you know,
skies.
LA definitely has its problems, right?
Let's talk about
Homelessness.
them instead.
Well, there's homelessness, there's crime. It's extremely expensive. You know, I'm going to be
Yeah.
straight up. It's dear. Um, but I love it though. I think the fact that the sky is like blue, it's the bluest sky I've ever seen in my life. Like even though it was only 18 degrees yesterday, it felt warm. Like I was in like a sleeveless hoodie going for a walk in the park. You know, everybody eats outside, even at that weather. Like this is classified as the winter. Um, Going for a hike just after this. I'm not going to go to the gym today. I'm going to meet a friend and go for a hike. But it's for me, like I feel like I've built my whole life and my business around the lifestyle that I want. Don't want to have any kids, you know, want to have like financial freedom, want to be able to live in a country where there's blue skies. Hence one of the reasons why I called our flagship course Life's a Beach. I don't particularly love being on sand, but I do love being in the weather, and here it just provides it for me. Do you know, the food is so good, the weather is amazing, and it just really suits my lifestyle.
All right, Matthew.
Yeah, I was trying to like make an excuse for it there. I'm trying to like
I'm
make
just trying to
myself
make you feel bad
I feel
because
I feel guilty.
no, I'm only messing. It's because right now I'm looking out the window and you can't even see outside. It's so dark. But we've only got a few months of that and then we'll be back on track. It'll be spring. There'll be a, you know, spring in our step. So
Well,
on the
you're more than
countdown.
welcome to come whenever you want.
Well, now I got my passport, I can. Yay!
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks to
again,
Mairead
Mairead.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mairead's brilliant. That's the thing.
I know. Got my Irish
She
passport. It's
really
the
is
first
good.
one. And I don't even have a
Happy
UK one
days.
now. So I've just totally role
I know.
reversed.
I need to apply for my UK one. I want to have
Oh, it's a
both.
nightmare.
I always have both, but I need to apply for my UK one. I've actually got two. I have to carry my old Irish passport because it's got my visa in it, and then I have to carry my new one. But yeah, any questions about LA? Anybody wants to? Please feel free to hit me up. And yeah, I don't mind if you want to unfollow me. That's all good. I'm okay with that because you know I can't wait to go and see some basketball as well, see some food, and also this is the first time. Whenever I came here, 2 years ago, whenever I came here in lockdown, we were doing the digital marketing revolution. Whenever I came back here last time, the main focus was to build all the Mindset and Marketing Academy back. This time coming back, like we have, you know, the Bankhouse Media Group, Mindset and Market, everything is complete. And now we have done a slight change with Bankhouse Productions, and we're bringing in finance for projects, and that's what I'm out here doing at the minute. So we've now got a slate of projects that's coming in on Bankhouse Productions that we're now financing, and I'm really, really excited about it because it's the first time that I'm actually coming back and I'm doing meetings around exciting stuff moving forward for all the businesses and not actually on the ground filming, if you get me,
Yeah.
or on the
Yeah.
sitting on my computer or recording voiceovers or doing videos. You know, of course I'll have to do some of them, but not to the extent. Like the times that I was here before, I was like back to back all day filming online courses
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
flying out to Austin or Florida or whatever, and just like with all the equipment filming that documentary, you know. So
Was
got a
intense. But worth it. But
it was so worth it. It was the best thing ever. But look, things aren't easy, you know, but if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it, as they say. But I do recommend anybody just I love that saying. People overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 10. This is Bankhouse's 10th year in business we've just entered into. Well, our 9th, like it was 10th in August.
Time flies when you're having fun, eh?
Having a ball. So enough about that stuff. What's the plans for today?
So, well, that kind of leads into what we are going to talk about, which is kind of, well, we have to really. It's the new year. So I thought we should talk about New Year resolutions because...
New year, new me.
New year, new you. Because everyone makes it, well, actually, now for the stats, 1 in 5 people actually make a New Year's resolution. So there's good things about that, obviously, because then, you know, you're making a plan to achieve something that you've really wanted to achieve. And then sometimes there's a bit of pressure and some downsides to that, in that you over commit and you can't deliver, and then you start the year feeling like a failure. So
that's exactly what I meant there. It's like people like overestimate what they can do. They put down all these goals and New Year's resolutions, and they overwhelm themselves.
Yeah. So I thought we should talk about New Year's resolutions. I I don't do New Year's resolutions.
Okay. You just do them every day?
Just every day is a resolution. Every day. Sorry. When I laugh, it's in my chest. I can feel it, you know, rattling.
Everybody's got that. A lot of people will relate.
That's why I'm on a lemon sip. Yeah, I don't really create New Year's resolutions, because anytime I did, I never bloody stuck to them, and then I ended up getting annoyed at myself, and I thought, oh, for flip's sake. Now, obviously, my partner Rachel, she loves, you know, she's the type that would create a New Year's resolution, so she went into 2024 with 3, and it was not to drink in January, only to have dairy food, and to do a dip a day in the ice bath. So what date are we on? The 10th?
The 10th.
So she's failed them all.
What? Oh,
she
really?
She lasted 3 days on all 3. And I was like, Rachel, there was a bit too much. That was a bit too much, you know, going on there. That was a lot.
But I kind of like have my New Year's resolution to be like travel more. Do you know what I mean?
Is that what you... Do you have one?
I'm going to travel more this year. Like, I made a commitment to it, you know?
Yeah.
Last year I made a commitment to spend more time with family. And then I broke my ankle and was stuck at home for 3 months.
Geez, so what's going to... And this year you've made a commitment to travel, and you've just found out that you've got like racked up loads of air miles. Even though that wouldn't stop you, but...
I know. I'm going to... once I do all my research on credit cards and how to use them, because I don't fully know yet, I'm going to come back and share all that information with everybody. I have like so many Avios points, like over 100,000, right? So I have this thing where like there's certain things, I don't even really know. It's a lot. It's a lot anyway. I was speaking to the guy at Amex, and he suggested me to move my card to another card. It's like a silver one. You pay more money, but you get like 4, I don't know. You get loads of things. I'm working through it all at the minute. I have had a buddy pass for like a year. A buddy pass means that someone can fly for free with me on my air miles. So even whenever me and Daniel had been traveling, he could have been flying. I've had a buddy pass for 3 years. You get it renewed every year, and I've got it renewed every year. So, and the next one I get, it'll last for 2 years. Like, I have this thing where I'm like, there's certain things I will spend money on, right? And there's certain things that I will be like, I rarely would upgrade my flight, because I'm like, upgrade my seat. I'm like, do I want to pay it? You know, could that money go somewhere else? I always think weirdly of like, is there someone I could, if my flight was 3,000, I'm like, God, that could get me, you know, a freelancer for doing like X amount of work. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't put it into, you know, I want to save it, or I want to put it into myself, or I think like that money could get me something amazing, right? And then sometimes I do upgrade and whatever, but I've made a decision I'm never not upgrading again. Like, I work far too hard because my last flight over here was a bloody disaster. It was like a Ryanair / EasyJet flight from Dublin to Washington.
I don't know how that happened.
I was like, is
That's
there any
mental.
seats left in first class? Or like, no, they're all gone. I'm like, what's going on? And I literally was sitting like that. I'm like, I'm never doing it again. Anyway, it turns out that I've got loads of air miles, and if I had a flow with a different airline, I actually signed up to another air mile system whenever I was on that flight, because I got air miles of that. And now that's going to be my next thing of just obsession with air miles, because yeah, I could have ended up upgrading pretty much for nothing, just paying the tax. So now I'm going to get that all under control this year. That's my mission.
I'm just thinking about like all those trips I could have been on then, as your buddy pass. Could have been everywhere.
We wouldn't have had to pay for your flights to Portugal. We wouldn't have had, you know what I mean? I've had like everything, just paying the tax on it. So I'm going to work all that out. That's the plan for 2024. I'm going to travel more, and I'm going to travel more, being more, responsible with that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Because also, and I don't really care about this either, some people live for them, going into a lounge and sitting down and doing all of that. I really don't care. I end up doing laps of the airport, like on the phone or listening to a podcast, walking. I very rarely sit down and work. I'm not like, but again, I've had access to like all the lounges for 3 years.
Oh,
So
I'd be kind of a bit devastated. But,
I don't
moving
care.
forward, happy days.
But that's the thing, as I said, like some things I would not even think, like take a second thought about paying, and people would think it's crazy. And then other things, it doesn't land with me. I don't get the same kind of, flying direct is important, and now I'm more premium seat, like every time, not just like when I kind of feel like it,
Yeah. Do you know why I think I don't really do New Year's resolutions? Because I'm just thinking about it as we talk. I'm more of a person who just lives in the present. Like I try not to really focus too much on the past, and I try not to focus too much on the future. I just try to be in the here and the now. Like probably
That's
to
really
my
good.
detriment. Well, no, I don't know, because I suppose you have to kind of visualize and, create goals and all of that. And that's difficult in my mindset, because I'm like, right, today is today. What are we doing? How am I feeling? What needs done? Where am I spending my time? And that's as far as my mind goes.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, you have a gorgeous, house. You have beautiful car. Like you have, so it's not like, I think you might have had New Year's resolutions are more goal orientated whenever you didn't have all the things you have in your life. If you're really happy in your job. You know what I mean? Like there would have been things, if you had been unhappy in your job, your New Year's resolution could have been, I'm going to get a bloody new job this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
maybe
true.
it's just like you've hit a point of happiness that, people strive to
I'm
get
loving
to.
life, guys. I'm loving life.
You're loving life. You're winning. To be honest with you, I'm loving life as well. I really...
Sorry. Live, laugh, love. Is that thing that always goes around that everyone always just wants to hit someone when they say it?
I know, when they say it or when they see it,
Yeah.
But no, look, I think having goals is more important than having like a New Year's resolution. I think it's the same thing essentially, but I think always having goals, like there's a big whiteboard behind me, just around the corner in the office, and I've already started to write on it. Well, I've been brain dumping everything onto my iPad, exactly what my goals are, because I haven't actually done a big overarching, master goal setting, to move everything as forward in years, probably since like 2017. Was the last time, 2016, 2017. And then we've been working towards those, which we've now achieved. And now this is the first time that I'm doing like a really big overarching, what areas of my life do I want to achieve all these different things in? And they do work, you know what I mean? 100%, there's no question about it. Like goal setting works. It's not woo-woo, if you set an intention to do something, you've more chance of doing it than not setting it.
I've just thought of something there. So obviously I've only really been working with you guys for the last 3 years or so. So I haven't been a part of this big Matthew's big like goal setting experience extravaganza. So I know that a lot of your a lot of your goals will be around, work. So now I'm just thinking, right, okay, what's coming my way?
I spoke to you about yesterday. It's definitely more financing with with Bankhouse Productions and more documentary and film projects. The agency is running really, really well. And it's growing consistently. And that's definitely something that I'm really proud of and very grateful for you as well. Like, so that's all going. So now it's just like having fun, getting more into storytelling, back into storytelling again, you know, and all of that stuff. You know, there's so much, we've got such a skill set that we can do whatever we want. And it's just about choosing it. Just on a note, on my last big goal setting, like one in 2016, that's whenever I wrote Stop Drinking, you know, so that's how effective that one was, you know. I actually worked and I never thought that was going to happen. And all the stuff like BBC, RTE, distribution, movies, LA, like LA was on it, you know, an LA visa, which everybody knows it's hard to get into America to be able to stay here for any length of time, you know. So those things, like my visa is up for renewal now. I'm going to be renewing it in about another couple of months. Can you believe? Well, it's 4 years has passed since I've had this visa. I get 5-year visas. So my next one is going to be up in January, but I'm going to apply for it in 6 months, so I have it early just to make sure it just doesn't lapse or anything. So like just loads of things like that, you know. But yeah, very much work related, but also personal related. I need to, you know, well, just there's loads of things. I'll
get into that.
I'll keep you updated on that. I'll show you it sometime once it's done.
Well, do you know like what kind of the biggest area is for generally for people and their New Year's resolutions? You could guess.
Alcohol. Fitness.
It's related. So like 62% of New Year's resolutions relate to like your, you know, your physical body or your diet. Mm-hmm. So like basically your health. So that's what most people are starting the new year saying, I'm going to get fit or I'm going to lose weight. And 13% of them say about reducing the alcohol intake. And 11 say they want to give up smoking. So everyone's kind of on the health kick. But typically, when people do these New Year's, this isn't for everyone, this is just on average. When people set these resolutions, they can normally last or continue with them for about 4.5 months before they start to kind of break away and fall back into the same routine. So for anybody out there who has like a resolution, if you can get past the 4.5 mark, you're part way there.
So we have an online fitness business, and I'm actually doing we're in a partnership with Adam Collard. So we have Sculpt Online Academy. We've had it for many years. AdamCollard.com, and what is the other one? The other domain?
Sculpt Fitness.
Sculptfitness.com. Sculptfitness.com, and then there's the online section in there, and we have been doing that for many years. We've got various different products, and one of them is a retainer, £30 a month for personal training inside the app, and the life cycle for a retainer is around 3.5 to 4 months. So that would actually fit in with what you're saying there.
I actually think it's Sculpt Fitness Gym, so don't
Sculptfitnessgym.com. But I'm actually just started the 60-day challenge, Sculpt in 60. It's only £77. Obviously I didn't pay for it because it's my company, but it's working out at like £1.28 a day, and we were doing a marketing strategy on that, right? A vape is £5 a day. I'm prone to ban the odd Snickers bar, which is like $2.50 or something. I know, yeah.
$2.50.
Swear to God, yeah. Actually more. I'll find out and send you a link. I know I went out the other day and I brought back tuna sandwich. It was gorgeous. Side of potatoes, and this pasta was $38.
What? Do you know what? See anybody who has fitness
and then a tip.
If anybody out there is wanting to lose weight as part of their New Year's resolution, just head to LA because you're not going to pay for it. You'll be like, do you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll stick to the water.
Yeah. Well, I'm back cooking as well. I love cooking, obviously, so I'm back cooking most of my meals. But
have you got an air fryer yet?
Yeah, well, I already have one here. I already had one here, so it's out and rocking. Yeah. So I had an air fryer here already. I have most of my stuff set up. The one thing that I'm driving a car at the minute that I absolutely love. I got the new Prius. It's a 2024 model. Now, I haven't bought it. and I haven't got it. I'm hiring it at the minute. But I really, really want to buy a car for here because I've got everything sorted in Ireland, and I would love to have everything sorted here so I can just, without having to sort out. But I have to admit, it's like the new Tesla. I love it.
We've talked about this. I don't know if Tesla drivers are going to be happy with you making that reference. If I had a Tesla and you compared it to a Toyota, I'd be fuming.
I know, it actually looks like the Jag as well, one of the Jag models. It looks really, really nice.
It
Swear
does
to God,
look
it's
good.
class. Oh, it's unreal, and it's a hybrid. It costs like nothing to run. But anyway, we're jumping off that. So the point I was trying to make there about the fitness was people don't pay 128 a day on their fitness goals. They fall off. A guided app, working you through it, telling you what to eat, guiding you into fitness and into healthiness. But we all do it,
Yeah.
£7 for a glass of wine, £5 for a vape, £13 for a cocktail, the odd McDonald's for like £8 or £9. Do you know what I mean? So you buy these things and don't even think about it, but think then, and we it's the same thing again. I do this as well. Really, do I want to spend £77 on fitness? This is not a bit dear. Like, have I lost my mind? I spent that on fast food in the past.
Do you not think, though, for me, it would be less about the money and more about the fact that I can't be arsed and I can't shift my mind into like, I'm in this, I've just got this way now, like I've what is it, habits you pick up, and you're like, oh, I can't be bothered.
So this is what I believe that most people have the problem with. They think that they have to take something away, where you don't. Add on fitness. Still drink, still smoke, still eat a Snickers bar, still have a McDonald's. For now, add it on. So you're not taking anything away from your life, but you're just adding something on. Everybody thinks whenever you flip into healthiness that you have to then start reevaluating your whole life, or how you sleep. Now, through time, just from experience of mine, that does happen. I have changed my diet, I've changed my habits, I've changed my sleeping habits. But at the start, I wish I had have just added on fitness while I was doing the other things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because so you don't feel like you're giving something up.
It's not like you're giving something up. It's like you're adding something else. And in a weird way, you're like counterbalancing it.
Yeah.
You're like saying, well, I don't feel bad for doing that because then I can do that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That's the way that I wish I had have had that approach. And that's what I would suggest everybody. So with you, I don't think you should stop doing any single thing. Not a single thing. Don't stop drinking. Don't stop eating whatever you want. But just potentially look to add something else in.
Yeah.
Get
to the gym. Been saying it. I've been trying it for 37 years since it came out.
I know.
into this world.
You should do the sculpt in 60. You should do the sculpt in 60.
Do you know what though? All what I struggle with fitness is the fact that I'm just too lazy. Like, I'm too lazy. I don't care enough inside, to like put the effort into doing something. Like fitness, not something. I'm talking about fitness. I'm like, whatever. Don't have a 6-pack. Oh, well.
I don't have one either, and I don't really want one. I don't care because I don't think I could sacrifice.
Why did you decide to start getting fitter?
I decided to do it after I got pneumonia. After I got pneumonia and I came out of the hospital, we had just moved into a house in like the Hollywood Hills, right? So I'd been living in this complex and it was gorgeous. With swimming pool, gyms. I started going to a gym then, and it was really relaxed. Then I moved into this new house, and I swear to God, the steps were like climbing the mountains. And I was like, oh my God, I got to the top and I was so exhausted. I actually rang one of our clients at the time, Dr. Sean, and I was like, I had pneumonia. This is my current situation. I'm living beside these things. And he said, be really careful, don't overdo it because it takes time for your lungs to get back to normal. But then from then, whenever I knew I was reminded how unfit I was every single time I walked into my house. Say if I forgot my keys and I got to the car, I'm like, oh my God, to go back up again and see moving into the house with like moving stuff up and down the steps. I absolutely loved living there. It was a gorgeous view and it was well worth it once you got to the top. But that house made me so fit and made me realize that I need to actually get fit, because I came to terms with the fact that I wasn't. And then I spoke to Daniel and I said, can you do me out a workout plan? And he just said, yeah, no worries. Because he had been working, obviously it's Adam's business is his as well, because Daniel and me are business partners and we own everything together. But he had been using all of Adam's courses for years, the bulking blueprint, the cutting blueprint, the like athlete, he had been doing them all. So he actually just got his notes out and wrote me out, because again, I was a bit intimidated about using Adam, because he's like ripped and like, 6'4", and he's like unbelievable and strong. And it wasn't until I really got to know him that, and as we move forward, I was like, he's actually just a really normal guy that wants to help, and it's not his fault that he's in such good shape. And so whenever I had then started to introduce myself to it, I just started like sticking to that one plan. Like, yeah, I think on my first thing, I had 4 workouts on a Monday, 4 workouts on a Wednesday, and 4 workouts on a Friday of 3 different groups. And I came out thinking, holy shit, that was easy. What's going on? Are you sure I shouldn't be doing more? And Daniel's like, no, don't do any more.
See, this is the thing, like, when you talk about why you committed to it and probably why you stuck to it, was because there was a genuine, purpose and intent behind why you wanted to achieve that thing. And I think that's an important thing to say, just for anybody who's creating, New Year resolutions. Don't just do it because everyone's doing it, It has to mean something to you. You have to want to do it.
Clearly identify your why. That's what. That's probably what it is. I had a very strong why. Same with giving up drink.
Yeah, but another one that you mentioned there, in terms of helping with any goals that you do want to achieve, any New Year resolutions, is that having kind of like an accountability partner or somebody there that you can kind of do that with. So you mentioned Daniel was helping you out. He wasn't doing that per se, but who was there to help you and support you kind of in the areas that you needed it. Because, some of the big ones like diet, giving up alcohol, stop smoking, like they're massive, huge deals, and it'd be hard to kind of do it on your own. So, reach out to people who are also on that path.
He had also been in, where was he? I don't know if he went to somewhere in France on a holiday and came back, and it was after I had been in the hospital. I had been pumped full of all sorts of medication, right? So I didn't even realize how bloated I was. I was like, he came back, he's like, holy fuck. He's like, you've put on weight. I was like, really? How? I haven't changed anything. Turned out to be completely medication based. But even just at that realization, like that honesty, I kind of appreciate that. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know if everybody does. Obviously I felt I trusted him, and I was like, okay, so if someone says something to you that you think is maybe offensive or negative, maybe it's not. Maybe it's something that you can say, okay, well, I've put on a little bit of weight. I need to be honest with myself, and I need to do something about it and get into like a steady fitness plan. And mine is not really much cardio. It's like lifting weights. I love lifting weights now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for anybody out there who's on their New Year's resolutions, you're on day 10 if you're this far. So keep going.
And if you've fallen off the wagon, just start again.
Yeah, don't worry about it, because really it's just another day.
I got approached by, actually, just to finish up this, I got approached by so many people over Christmas about giving up alcohol. How do you give up? What do I do? Like I sent more people my video that I done 3 years ago. And one thing that I said to all of them is, do not put yourself under pressure. I actually went on to my stories one night and just sort of had I must actually highlight that and just put it on a highlight. But just don't put yourself under pressure. If you try to give it up for 3 months and you only make 2 weeks, 2 weeks is a massive achievement. Congratulate yourself. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
And if you've had drink, just like get over that and go off it again. I went off drink to prove to myself that I could, and then I happened to stay off it. And then Alex, Alex done Life's a Beach. He also cut my hair before I left. Shout out to Alex. He just celebrated his 1 year off alcohol yesterday. So I rang him last night. I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Are you going back on it? And he's like, oh my fuck. He was with a mentor at the time, and his mentor said to him, you will need a telescope to see the person you are today for a year from now. And he's now working as a personal trainer doing small group coaching. took his first small group coaching class on the anniversary of him giving up alcohol. Is that mental?
That's crazy.
This goes
Fair
to
play,
show you,
Alex. Well done.
Yeah, he's amazing. And he's great at cutting hair. I said he's going to have to come out to LA in about
It's
3.5
like,
weeks.
forget your dreams. Matthew wants his haircut.
Just come out for 4 days just for a holiday.
Yeah, that's how he gets you in. And really, you'll be spending the whole time like cutting hair. But there we go. So yes, and actually just also, as Matthew said, go back to the why. Why is it a resolution for you? Because maybe it doesn't even need to be, you know. Maybe it needs to be something else if you want to make some changes. Don't just do it because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Here, before we finish, I just wanted to say about, you know, also what we have to look forward to in 2024. And this one was especially for you. First of all, for everybody, it's a leap year, so we all get an extra day.
Oh, okay, brilliant. God, that's a leap year. God, we premiered the Street Leagues on the leap year 29th. Charlie Hamilton's birthday.
Get an extra day. What he's going to do with it?
Oh my God, what am I going to do? I feel like I wasted it yesterday.
I feel like I'm owed it from that day in bed, so that's good. I've got one back. But here, no, this one was for you, right? You're going to love this. So in 2024, NASA are going to send 4 astronauts to the moon so that they can land on the moon again.
This is going to be a non-conspiracy podcast, Sharon, I believe, because me and Sharon have I question everything in life.
Everything.
Right? I'm not to say that I can't be won over. I won't believe it. But because I'm in marketing and because I've seen so many how people sell products and how businesses work on the back end and the conversations that they have, and there is full companies. My friend worked for one that spends all his time researching human behavior so that he can find ways to advertise gambling and lotto tickets and smoking to them where you're not allowed to advertise. They have to come up with ideas of getting that into their psyche, right? Yeah. And they're spent doing that. So, and that's just on like one level. I just think it's like, that's like a level of control and all that kind of stuff. And people are going about their business and don't even realize that that's happening to them, that you want to smoke or want to gamble or want to do these different things because you've been subliminally filled full of like this information. Whereas I question every single thing a school teacher told me. Everything. I question like what's going on with religion. Not at the time. I, like everybody else, took it in. And then I just quit.
Sorry to interrupt, but see, just when you say religion, that's another thing of 2024. Apparently the Catholic Church get together for like 3 years and talk about all these different plans, you know, for the future of the Catholic Church. So 2024 sees the end of their 3-year meeting, we'll call it, to identify how they're going to approach the future, which apparently is in discussion, women in leadership roles in the church. Can you believe it? And potentially, you know, same-sex marriages.
That's because they're not getting enough money. And that's because it's all about money. Everything is about money. And let's just watch this space with the moon landing. You know, let's
the moon landing and same-sex marriages and a woman priest. Let's see.
Oh God, what are we in for? I'm just then super focused. Do you know what I'll be looking at for most of 2024? The sky, the blue sky. I'll be looking upwards at the sky, thinking, yes. That's why I just try to stay so in my own lane and make sure that like my income is where I need it to be, to have nice foods, to understand, you know, to help other people get out of like poverty, getting themselves into profitable businesses, getting themselves into a place where they can do whatever they want. Because whenever you start looking outwards and be distracted by the moon or distracted by religion or distracted by all these different things, I think you take your eye off your own goals, your own life, and where you're actually going to.
Well, you know me. I don't watch the news. I couldn't tell you the biggest disaster or the biggest news thing could happen, and I wouldn't have a clue. Someone would have to tell me. Do you know, as an example, right? And this was obviously useful information, But the other day in the background, the TV was on, and it was like, you know, like This Morning or something, and your man Martin Lewis was on talking, and he was just talking about how basically energy prices and that are due to come down. So now is not the time to, you know, fix your energy rate with your energy provider. And I just heard this in the background because it was on in the other room. And then it put me in such a bad mood because I just fixed my prices. And I was like, what's the point? If I didn't know that, I wouldn't have cared. And now I'm raging.
Yeah, at this time of the year, whenever you're coming out, whenever you're in a recession or sort of halfway in the middle, never fix anything because all the rates have to go down. And especially when it's an election year in America, because they'll want to have them down because we're trying to win favour. But that's just my take on it, you know, because I end up, whenever I had houses before in 20, I think it was 2010 or 28, I said to my friend, who we both had houses together, and I was like, look, put everything onto trackers. And he said, no way, it's going to go up to 8%, I'm keeping it on fixed. And I was like, don't do this, keep it on tracker, please. I put all mine onto trackers, and my outgoings for one house was like £890 a month for the mortgage, went down to like 57 because the interest rate went down to 0.25, and I was on interest only because it was a buy-to-let, and his stuck at like 800, and I was at like 57 for a mortgage for like 4 years, you know, and that was only one of them, and I'd done that on everything. But
the point was, you know, just by listening to one little thing put me in a bad mood already, you know. Instead of just getting on with my day, I wouldn't have cared. We're only talking like a few quid, you know. Obviously, that is important because everyone's struggling and all that. But at the same time, I was like, right, well, piss off because now I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
And then, this is why I don't watch TV.
Just on the note of, you know, what you brought up there about the moon and stuff, I'm open for everybody believing exactly what it is they want. Do you know, that's fine. Like, it's I don't even talk about any thoughts that I might have really to many people because it's not even like that I have a thought. It's just like opening a conversation. People think you're crazy. And it's like, I have no judgment on anybody, whatever they think, whatever. And mine is just always just about curiosity. And like, I think we should question everything that's going on. Question me, you know, challenge me whenever I say something on our course. Why is that like that? Let me get an ad account out and show you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think everybody should question. Like, you know what I'm like, even with our staff. Like, Sharon will say something to me and I'm like, can you just push back on that and see why that's happening? Can you just, you know, it's just, I think it's in me, and I think people should do it more.
I know, but
you know,
people don't understand. I was just bringing that up for the crack because Matthew and I always have debates about the moon. That's
Sharon
all.
believes people went to the moon, I don't.
Yeah, and then I saw it come up in the research, and then I went, oh my gosh, I have to bring this up. And Rachel went, do not bring that up.
It's another big distraction. So, but I wouldn't even know other for the fact that
Loads of people believe that though.
That.
Loads of people believe what you believe.
Of course, people believe it. They teach it in schools.
Well, do you know what?
It's like it's not the fact that, you know, I'm right here. Like, I'm essentially wrong. You know, like my thought on this is wrong, and what is actually the fact that is taught in schools, it's in history books, it's on news, is that it did happen. So, but I'll fact.
No, but I meant loads of people believe that it didn't.
Oh, it didn't happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's not just you. All I'm going to do for 2024 is look at this bracelet that I got as part of my present, and it just says, remember who the fuck you are.
Brilliant. Who got you that?
Broflo.
Amazing. Well, I'm just so grateful as well because I'm back drinking this green tea. It's green tea classic. I
can't drink green tea. It makes me feel a bit bulky.
No, you could drink this one. I don't like green tea either. It's too strong. This is brilliant. It's like organic. It's called BIGELOW. I need glasses. It's official.
Oh no.
What the hell? I actually got tested last year for 20/20 vision. How could that have went down so fast?
Maybe it's all that, you know, massive sunlight you're getting.
No, it's not. I spend too much time on my phone like that.
Wow. Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
Like, that's
nightmare. So guys, yes, welcome to 2024.
Just before we wrap up, just before we wrap up, do you want to like just jump in, because there's some really, really good people putting in for the competition, some really good businesses.
Yes, well, that's kind of we just kind of kept this segment a bit longer today because I wanted to keep it a bit lighthearted and whatever, settle us all back in. But just wanted to end the podcast on the competition that we mentioned just before the Christmas break, about the opportunity to win your first online business if you have a business idea that you've been sitting on or thinking about for a while. We have put it out there to offer up the ability to work with us to let us build your first online business. And that'll include, just as a recap, I'm just looking at the page here now and we'll link it. But that will really include mentorship with Matthew and myself to talk you through the entire process. After that kind of initial mentorship section, you'll then jump into our Life's a Beach course to get out of your head what we need for your first online business. Once you've done that, then what we'll do is we'll jump back into a bit more mentorship. Once we nail your business idea and your product, then we, as the Bankhouse Media Agency, will build your website and your product. And Matthew and I, along with the team, will lead you to your first sale. So it's an amazing opportunity for somebody out there. And we've had lots of interest so far. So the applications are rolling in. And we have until the 31st of January. That's when applications will close. And then Matthew and I will sit down and review them all to see which one we can take forward. Unfortunately, we can't take them all. But we're really excited about working with somebody on that. Did you want to jump into it a wee bit more?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, it's a brilliant opportunity for anybody. So no matter whether, if you think your idea is stupid, just put it in anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, just don't be afraid to put it in. Don't say, oh, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I have the confidence. That's why we're here. That's why the mentoring's there. That's how you use the agency, the online courses, watching the videos. Like, all our courses are really relatable, jargon-free information. They're just me chatting and giving information all the way through. The other day I had like an Uber driver and he told me about a business that he was just about to create, and I said to him, have you found out what your break even is for the business? And he's like, no, what is that? And I said, like, how much money you have to make before you're going to profit? And he's like, okay. And he was very overwhelmed within the taxi ride, and I was like, look, I have a course, Life's a Beach, go and have a look at it. And he went, and fair play to him, he went and signed up and done it. Well, he started it. But it's jargon-free information. He said, like, I got so much value from this taxi ride with you just talking that I want to actually go and do this. I know I'll be able to do it. And he will. It's layman's terms. It's not overwhelming. It's easy to be done. I'm dyslexic, no technical skills whatsoever, and went bust in the last recession, worked as a refrigeration engineer, lying on the ground fixing water leaks under fridges, de-icing fridges, and running around all over the country in my van, depressed. And now I'm living in LA with digital businesses with multiple avenues of income, and I've written a course that can teach people how to do it. You could win that. You could get that opportunity and have it for free, along with, as Sharon said, me and Sharon just guiding you through every part of it and bringing you right to your first sale. So yeah, that's basically it.
And it's not a case where, we're not asking for a commitment of people to give up their jobs and focus on this. This is, something that whenever you're starting your first online business, it can take a little bit before you start to see money coming in. So this can be done in your spare time, out of hours. If you have a 9-to-5 job at the minute, fill in the application with the idea that you have for your kind of first online business, and we'll get that up and running, and then we'll start to see the sales coming through. And then hopefully within time, you'll see that grow and grow to a level where it becomes something that, you can just fully invest in kind of full time. So we really, sometimes it's hard for us to kind of quantify, just exactly what's included, but we have a web page that outlines all of the details as to what you would get and the process for it. And it also includes some testimonials from people that have worked with Mindset and Marketing and Bankhouse Media, just to kind of give you a bit of a feel for, you know, what it would be that you would be getting and the support that you'd receive. So please check it out. The application only takes, I mean, it can take as long as you want, and the more information you give us, the better. But in essence, it should only take about 15 minutes or so to complete. And then, like I say, it closes on the 31st, at which point Matthew and I'll be reviewing them over the first week in February, announcing then the winner on the 9th of February, I think. So yeah, there's still time to get your idea in.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. So that is another week at the Mindset and Marketing Academy. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we try to give as much jargon-free information. This was a bit like laid back, Christmassy, rambly, more so than the other ones. Rambly.
Rambly. What are you talking about?
Okay. Me, I'm talking about.
No, you're not.
Sharon was rambling too much, so I apologise.
We're both sick.
Yeah, I actually, you know, I'm getting back out now. I'm going to go for a hike here. It's 9:45. My day's done.
Your day's just beginning, but your work's done.
My work's done. My work day's done. My day's just beginning though, yeah. So basically, we will see you on the next one. Thank you again so much for watching, and yeah.
Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.